So you've started a journey to bring your fiance to the US on a K-1 visa, but what about their child? That is where the K-2 visa comes in. If you are wondering how to make sure your fiance's child can immigrate with them, you're in the right place. Hello everyone, my name is Jackie and welcome to my channel. So I provide videos related to immigration process, and my resources is coming all from the USCIS website, so I highly recommend to check their website www.uscis.gov. And for the full disclosure, I am not an immigration attorney and I do not provide legal advice. My information is based on my personal experience. I am a K-1 visa holder. I do have a K-2. And in today's video, I'll break down everything that you need to know about the K-2 visa. Who qualifies, how the process works, and the key steps to take to avoid delays. Whether you're just starting or already deep into the paperwork, this guide will help you navigate the process smoothly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. If you filed for a K-1 visa application for your fiance and your fiance has a child who is unmarried and under the age of 21, the K-2 visa will be automatically available for them. You don't need to pay extra to get a K-2 visa, and you don't need to file for an additional application as long as you added the children of your fiance when you filed the form I-129F, and you needed to add them as derivative of your beneficiary. So what are the requirements when applying for a K-2 visa? The K-2 visa needs to have a proof of relationship, and that is the birth certificate. They also need to have a valid passport. It needs to be at least within 6 months before it expired. And they also needed to complete the medical examination. So if you are from the Philippines, the medical examination is from the St. Luke's Medical Center. They also needed to complete the DS-160 for each child applying for a K-2 visa. Also, the affidavit of support. So you need to make sure that you meet the income requirements. So the visa petitioner needs to make sure that they made sufficient income to support both the fiance K-1 visa and the child of a fiance, which is the K-2 visa applicant. The K-2 visa needed to provide their case number. The case number will be provided together with the K-1 visa applicant. They also need to have their biometrics. So if you are going to apply for follow to join, the K-2 needs to have a guardian or a parent to accompany with the child to complete the biometrics and the visa interview. So there are two ways for your fiance to bring their child in the US. First, they can bring their K-2 with them when they enter the US, or they can apply for a follow to join. If you decided to apply for a follow to join, you need to make sure that your K-2 will complete the medical examination within 1 year from the time that your visa was issued. They also needed to complete the DS-160 and have their visa application submitted to the US Embassy. So I wanted to share with you guys the story of my K-1 visa application together with my K-2. So when we decided to file for a K-1 visa, we wanted to bring my child with me when we enter the United States, but for so many reasons I decided not to bring my child with me when I come here in the US. So I do have here the yellow pocket of my K-2, which is my child when we applied for a K-1 visa. I will be sharing with you what's inside of this yellow pocket. It's a K-2 yellow pocket. So it's supposed to be, if you have one, do not open it because you need to provide this to the immigration officer on your port of entry. It must be sealed. Do not open it, okay? The reason why I'm opening this yellow pocket because we no longer needed it. So when I applied for a K-1 visa, my child received a K-2 visa, and of course unfortunately I did not have my child with me when I enter in the US, and he can no longer apply for a follow to join because We already have the visa application together with me when I applied for a K-1. So I did apply for an IR2 to my child when he entered here in the US, because that's over 1 year from the time that my visa was issued. My K2 did not provide this, or did not enter in the US using this visa. I filed for another petition for him, okay? When I filed for an IR2 for my child to come here in the US, he no longer received the yellow pocket. So it was digital. So I was curious when I applied for his visa application using the form I-130. I filed it online. I was curious because he was not provided by this yellow pocket. It was all digital. So he didn't have it with him when he entered in the US. Again, do not open this yellow pocket because you are no longer allowed to enter in the United States if this is no longer sealed. So you should be providing this yellow pocket to the immigration officer at your port of entry. The port of entry is the first airport that you are going to arrive in the United States, even though you do have a connecting flight to your final destination. The first airport or connecting flight where you're going to step into the U.S. soil is going to be your port of entry. So the USCIS will receive this yellow pocket from the immigration officer, and that's the reason why when you apply for a green card, you no longer needed to provide your medical examination, because they are responsible, or they already received this medical record from the immigration officer at the port of entry. So these are all the documents included inside of my son's yellow pocket, and he got a K-2 visa application approved by the U.S. Embassy in Manila. So there you have it, guys. So technically, what's inside of this yellow packet for the K-2 visa applicant is just the 2x2 picture, the birth certificate of the K-2, and the medical records from St. Luke's. So these are all inside of this yellow packet. I hope I provided all the information you needed to know about your K-2 visa application. And I hope that you consider liking this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and please share this video to your friends that are sharing the same journey with you. And I'll see you on my next video. Thank you again and have a great day. Bye!